Welcome to Co-op Mode. This will be episode 148. This is the official video game podcast of Secret Friends Unite. I am one of your hosts, Todd Oxtra. We have had a journey just to even start this podcast. But on this journey, I'm joined with my second mate, the captain, Mark Carabin.
Second mate, the captain?
Well, I'm the admiral.
Right. Okay, all right. That's gotcha. You've spent plenty of time on ships, I can tell already.
And the dreaded rear admiral, Mark.
Rear admiral, yes.
That's the best position. What are you talking about?
Yes.
Depending on how you look at it, Dan. Depending how you look at it.
I am slightly confused, but good. Todd, how are you?
Good. We had to pivot tonight. That's why we're a little bit wonky tonight. We were going to have Joey Ferris on tonight. We had significant technical issues, but we threw out a Hail Mary. And who's in the end zone waiting to score for the Colorado Buffalo? Shador Sanders says, "Give me the ball." It's Dan Willenzik, a.k.a. Daddy D. Wally from the Nerd Chat. Dan!
How's it going, boys? Hey, before we get started, Todd, thank you so much for shouting out my Buffs. We did beat the Colorado State Rams. Yes. It's the Rocky Mountain Showdown. In case anyone was wondering out there, it's a bitter rivalry. The Buffs are now 69-22-2, so it's not really a rivalry. But I just wanted to show everyone this sweet swag that I've got, this Colorado dry fit. I don't know if this is like a hoodie, but it's incredible. This might be my all-time number one new swag and merchandise from the Buffs. So let's go, Buffs. I'm ready to go. Let's jump into it, Todd.
I do love those Colorado, those Rams. They're green and gold. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, but I just love it for some reason. Green and gold Rams from Colorado State. Oh, well. I love a good rivalry. With that, though, we are ready to get into this. Dan has been on the show before, so we don't have to even do any introductions. We just have to get into thanking the cool people that make this show happen.
Yeah, we want to thank everyone over at patreon.com/secretfriendsunite, where you can head right now for a free 7-day trial to hear all of these shows, ad-free, exclusive shows, bonus content, all that good stuff for just a couple of bucks a month and up from there. Speaking of all of those amazing people, let's list them right now. At our besties tier, we have Chris from 1H1D, Derek Trevelyan, aka the Figure Dude, Francie, the official hairstylist of the SFU. Xbox expansion pass. Charlie's uncle Tim from the Friends with Benefits tier. We have John Sedorf, Phoenix Sisters Entertainment, Brennan Myers, Corey NHD, the Boss Rush CEO, and Matthew Keel. And of course, coming in at our super secret friends super squad tier, that is Sean, Stella, and Henry Nias. Thank you so much to all of our supporters, everyone over at patreon.com/secretfriendsunite. Again, head there for some bonus content to help support the show, but that's not the only way you can support us. If you can't or don't want to throw a couple of bucks our way, I totally get that. I totally understand. That is totally fine. The best thing you can do for us is just sending a link to a friend. Say, hey, check out this show. Share a show with a friend. Invite someone into our Discord chat. Help us grow the network a little bit that way. Subscribe on YouTube. Give us some love in some of those places and share the love with someone you think would like this nerdy, geeky content that we do, that we love doing so much. So again, do that kind of stuff. Help us out that way. But if you want to get that bonus content, ad-free shows, all that kind of stuff, check us out over at patreon.com/secretfriendsunite.
Yeah, and just what we got upcoming. This is kind of fun. We're doing our next Patreon party chat September 18th, 8 p.m. CST. We have fun. We play games. We get to get a little crazy and rowdy. It's a good time. And if you're not a patron, sign up for a free trial. Just join us there. We have a good time. And then
got a question for you guys.
Yes.
So it goes besties. Yes. I'm assuming Friends with Benefits is like the second tier.
It is.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, and our squad is
kind of serious. Yeah. Okay, and then I see the super friends. Okay, got it.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Well, and then our newest show we're doing is our fantasy football podcast.
Oh, yeah,
Waiver
talking about
Wire Wizards. Yeah, with my buddy Sean Nice. He is the expert. I don't want to humble brag, but for him, but Josh Metellus from the Minnesota Vikings actually is a neighbor of his, so he has got a connection to the world of the NFL. But obviously we don't get anything from him, but it's a lot of fun. So we're on to week 2. I'm recording that with Sean tomorrow because as we recap the NFL, it's a crazy time, especially when Todd has Tua and Tyreek Hill on his league.
Well, hey, at least you don't have the Broncos offense and have nobody affiliated with the Denver Broncos like me in my life. Okay,
I have Kirk Cousins, though, as my backup quarterback. So take that to the crapper. So that's there. So if you like fantasy football, it's out there. We're going to get this first to Patreons, and it'll go out to everyone before you have to make your picks. It's fun. Play some fake football. We enjoy that. So with that, we get to the part of the show that I think we can all enjoy because it's just silly. It's stupid. It's fun. And I like to plague people with this question. By Rent Return, the worst launch game from a system. I picked 1-2 Switch from the Switch, Fantavision from the PS2, and Loco Cycle from the Xbox One. So before everybody makes their pick, do you need information about any of these games?
Do I ever?
Okay, Mark, ask away.
I have only really heard of one of these, and that is 1-2 Switch. I am vaguely familiar, I think, with Fantavision as kind of like that's like fireworks or something, right?
It's a fireworks simulator,
like
Mark.
A tech demo, like AstroBot. Is it similar?
But you had to pay for it, though. And that's the weird part about it. This is like coming off the PlayStation 1, which is a huge success. And it's like, Fantavision, pay $40, because I guess it was $40 a time, and play with fireworks. Don't blow off your fingers, kids.
Or just literally just shoot fireworks in the air, watch this physics demo.
You know, we're going to probably find out that like the developer of this is the creators, basically went on to make Elden Ring probably. This is by Japan Studio from Sony Computer Entertainment. Gameplay. It's a real-time puzzle game that relies on quick color matching and symbol recognition skills from the player.
Okay. And then Loco Cycle is
so that game-esque
ripoff, or what is this?
No, that is made by the team from Twisted Pixel who made Explosion Man and Missplosion Man.
Okay.
Microsoft bought the studio, and this was their first game. They owned it for like a hot second. This game was a hot mess. Basically, it's a sentient cycle that uses a guy as basically his weapon. The cycle uses a human rider as his weapon. The cycle talks to you. It goes through things. The Local Cycle is an action-adventure beat-em-up game where the players control the main character, a sentient combat motorcycle named Iris, to fight against military weapons company seeking to destroy her. You're using a human as your weapon. And this game was panned.
With that name, Loco. They were like, no, we can't call it Crazy Cycle.
No.
Cycle. Let's make it Loco Cycle.
Are you loco,
and I gotta say,
man?
It's pretty sweet. So I'll go first, Mark, if you don't mind, because
go nuts.
I have not played any of these. Okay, I've heard of them, but I looked up their Metacritics, and maybe if you want to guess what they are, but I have them all right in front of me.
Ooh.
Right away, what am I going to return? Worst game here? I got to go 1-2 Switch. I'm sorry. Gimmick games. All I remember from this, guys, is I remember Greg Miller playing Hideo Kojima in 1-2 Switch, and they like tweeted it out. That's about it. That's my only recollection of this game. Fantavision would be, I guess this is going to be my buy, only because it's the highest Metacritic. Does anyone want to guess what the Metascore is for
79?
72. Do you want to guess the user score?
67.
6.1. So Fantavision, just by its scores alone, is what I would pick to buy. And then I would rent Loco Cycle, which has the worst meta score at 48 and 4.0 user score. But surprisingly, when you look at the reviews, the latest ones and the latest users, they're actually better than the other two games, which is bizarre. But those would be my picks. I haven't played them, but this is just going off of Metacritic score. And that's all I got. Go ahead,
you can buy Loco Cycle right now for $10. And this is the great part, on Steam, probably on Steam. James Gunn is on the video for this game. James Gunn.
What do you mean?
It's crazy. I was just looking at it and they're showing like the trailer. You go to Steam, they show like a trailer. James Gunn is talking about this game.
Okay, well then I switch it. This is my buy.
I'm gonna put I'm gonna put this in the link. It's great. And they're the maker of the Gunstringer. Remember that game, the Gunstringer? That was the Kinect game. Where you controlled it like it was a puppet. This is such a weird, deep, dark hole of the internet. When James Gunn was making, what was that? Lollipop Chainsaw. He was making.
He's been a part of
Slither.
A lot of games, right?
Oh yeah. Okay. So there you go. I don't know. This made my heart sing right now.
Mark, what about you? I'm interested. Have you played any of these?
I have not played any of these. No, and I am going to go with. I'm going to just go with my gut on this one. And I'm going to say I will buy 1-2 Switch purely because it seems like the kind of game that I might get an evening of entertainment out of with
maybe kid-friendly
son.
Too. Yeah.
You
That's
know
what
I
was thinking.
That is the only like tonight we were shooting Nerf guns at little paper targets that I set up throughout the house. We play keepy uppy with balloons. Like this might be just one of those little entertainment things that, gets us up and active and moving around and doing something goofy. So that's going to be the buy for me.
Just quickly, Metacritic and user score both at a 5.4 for that. So consistent.
Wow.
I think you might have made the right
consistently bad, but consistent nonetheless. For the other two, this is a complete toss up, but the James Gunn thing and the so bad it might be
you got to see it. Yes.
Good thing.
So
Loco Cycle, I think, is going to be the rent purely on. Okay, when a movie is so bad that it's good years later that you can watch it and you're like, why is Thanks killing a thing? What did they do to this poor turkey puppet?
I got one. What? This is so bad, it's still bad, right? Cabin Fever. Literally the worst movie I've ever seen.
Oh, Eli Roth?
It's the worst movie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Horrible.
Those kind of things can have a certain appeal in the right mindset. You have a couple of drinks, you put on Loco Cycle, and you're just like, what is this? Why did I spend money to play this? What were they thinking developing this? Here we go. Fantavision seems like it's taking itself a little seriously, and there's nothing against that. I appreciate that they tried something that looks like a, Geometry Wars puzzle game with fireworks or something. Might have been cool at the time, but I don't know if there's going to be like that funny replay factor of going back to a PS2 era game. So that's going to be my return. I might be completely wrong. The Metacritic scores are telling me I'm probably wrong in that assessment. But for me, all three of these are so bad that I'm just going for that cringe appeal, hilarity factor in playing them. So that's where these choices are. So I probably picked like the worst to keep and the best to return, but that's my mentality going into this.
Okay, I've got huge news just to tell everyone that might change your opinion. Fantavision has an update. It's called Fantavision 22X. It's on Steam, released in 2023, released to mostly positive reviews. It's $20 on Steam.
Wow.
Mind blown.
Beauty of PC gaming. I got to check this out. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
Mostly
Love
positive
this.
too.
Yeah, and there's apparently a VR mode.
This is better than
There's apparently a VR mode. Oh, this is crazy.
See, that kind of thing could be really, really cool in VR.
Blow your mind. Like, was it, what's the Tetris effect?
Yeah, Tetris effect in like VR. It's fantastic. So like,
and
yeah, this might be all right.
And just to give you a sad, like, the Circle of Life, the Loco Cycle team, they went after they published Loco Cycle, they ended up doing focused on VR production. They were employed by Meta. Their last game came out in 2019. They're nowhere to be seen. So they did a couple. Let's see. They went on to do, if I looked up at Twisted Pixels, I had it open, but I closed it.
I mean, to be honest, Todd, like, this is pretty incredible that both of these games are actually playable on Steam right now. That's pretty cool. You can play all these games right now, actually, because you can still play 1-2 Switch. So, wow. Huh.
Yeah, they did Wilson's Heart in 2017, B-Team in 2018, Defector, and Path of the Warrior in 2019, and that is it. So a studio that has not made a game in 5 years, that does not bear.
They're just working on something big.
One thing, though, guys.
Exactly.
Loco Cycle, also very positive reviews, better than Starfield. Are you kidding me? Come on. Are you kidding me right now? Loco Cycle.
They're poking you in the heart.
Dude, this is insane. All right.
Xbox knows what they need to do.
Xbox family did.
Loco Cycle 2. There we go.
You can still play this on Xbox Series X, I assume. So
is it full backwards compatibility?
I think it is. It's gotta be, because it was on Xbox One, I assume. Yeah. So there we go. So very quick for myself, so this is going to be interesting. So I'm going to return Fantavision. I could care less about puzzle games. I am going to buy Loco Cycle because I like a train wreck. And I played this game back then. I may even own this game on the original Xbox One. It was a train wreck. It is ridiculous of its time, over the top. I understand why James Gunn would be involved, because he also made Lollipop Chainsaw. He was a man of the time when he made it. So there you go. What's going on, Dan? I got a phone here. You're watching.
You can definitely download to console right now. So
hey, do it, Dan. Can't wait to see what you say next week.
Everybody, Loco Cycle.
Exactly, Loco Cycle. And then 1-2 Switch. I will rent this game because I did indeed rent this game to play with my son back in 2017 when the Switch launched. I milked cows. I used my Joy-Con as a razor. So Dan, Mark, I think your little children that you have would enjoy doing ridiculous things with
I should Joy-Cons. Go milk some cows. Okay, sounds good.
I think this is actually better than Skyward Sword there, Dan. So you might have a better time.
About Skyward Sword. I can't wait.
Oh, there we go. Absolutely. So there we go. We're done with Buy Rent Return. Now we're getting to what we've been playing. So Dan.
All right.
I know what you've been playing.
No, I don't think you do. I actually have some.
Well, I know one game you've been playing, but two
I finally did it. I beat The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword on the Switch with janky controls.
Wow.
And I have to say,
and without the amiibo that launched you back into the air.
Oh my gosh, that would have been helpful. But I have to say, if this game just had normal controls, there's something there. I missed that old Zelda feel. You could see they're kind of transitioning between, to me, it felt like Wind Waker to Breath of the Wild. Like the open world, going anywhere, but except it's islands, with similar to Wind Waker.
Yeah.
The bad part of what I liked. Typical dungeons, solid Zelda combat that I always liked. Cool use of the I don't know what they call it, treasures pickups that you got, like the bow and arrow, the grapple shot was really cool. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed using those. Negatives, besides the horrible controls, I hated. Did you beat this, Mark, by any chance?
I never got a chance to beat this because I won't spoil. I was working on this. We moved into this house just before the Wii U came out, and I was trying to finish this game. My Wii dropped and couldn't read discs anymore. And then the Wii U came out, but I just never went back to this game because I was playing all the new Wii U stuff. So this is one that I've made it most of the way through and just have never
put
the
you think
cap
you
on.
did. because I think I spent 48 hours on this game, and I was trying to really just straight line it.
Yeah.
And the bad part is once you get like through 3 or 4 main dungeon areas or islands, I guess, it does this stupid thing where it's like, oh, you got to go back to these spots and do something slightly different. Like one, you had to like swim around underwater, which was terrible. One, you had to sneak around. All of a sudden, you're Metal Gear, you're Solid Snake sneaking around as Link. And then the other one was okay. It was like kind of like it was like a time difference. Like it would switch you back in time and where everything was alive and the stuff was dead. That was like one of the areas you were good. That one was okay, but it did all that. And then I had to go to another dungeon that was completely puzzles. And I was like, this is like the Water Temple nightmares all over again. So I looked it up immediately. And then what I will say is the final boss design, very cool. I won't say the name of it because I don't want any spoilers out there, but it was very cool. But overall, the final battle was kind of.
Is it a D and a?
Yes.
Certain. Yeah. Yes. My son talks about that. He thought that boss was going to come back for Tears of the Kingdom.
It was don't spoil Tears of the Kingdom because I haven't gotten there. So
no. But when he saw the video, he thought that too it was going to be. And I don't want to say anything more. Yeah.
But apparently those are like. By the way, the timeline thing, I have no idea what's going on with all the timelines.
And they don't care either. They're like they'll sell you a book and say, just kidding. Yeah. We don't care.
Yeah. So I did finish it. I'm proud I did it. That was one that was on my list. All the mainline Zeldas from basically back to SNES. The only one I'm missing now is Twilight Princess and Tears of the Kingdom.
Great game.
AKA Toilet Princess, as I would call it.
I actually, funny story. I got that on Wii when we launched, and I just couldn't. I played like 15 minutes.
I couldn't either.
I can't do this.
Those controls when you want to select the area when you want to battle. I'm like, why is it not working right?
I couldn't do it. So that's where I stopped. And so, Mark, now I am on to Link's Awakening. What a beautiful,
such a good game.
Beautiful.
Love that game.
So far, I just did the first dungeon and I'm collecting the feathers now. It's like I played this originally on Game Boy and now I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't remember this. I don't remember how, I was like 5 feathers. What am I doing here? I don't know what the heck's going on. Looks beautiful. Love that classic Zelda feel from the 2D SNES, style and Game Boy style. But you warned me about this. This game runs pretty bad. You leave a building, all of a sudden you're chugging at like 10 frames per second.
We gotta put that screen into it. It takes all the power. The switch to push the screen in. It's like, we got our screen.
The blurring, I don't know what's going on the top and the bottom. Like it's a motion blur effect. Like not good. Like this is like maybe I should just wait for the next Switch to play it. And then the other one, Todd. We're playing Destiny 2. We're doing Final Shape. We're getting opponent that. But did you know the other one that I'm playing? What were you thinking?
I guess I don't know because that's what I thought you were going to cover.
I'm playing 2013's Batman Arkham Origins on my PC. I had never played.
Did you get the DLC?
No. So I bought it on Steam.
Gotta get the DLC
on Steam right now. What a deal. And so the beauty of playing on PC right now, I'm at 4K, 120. Like it looks and runs.
All the bugs are gone.
Better than Arkham. What was the one that just came out? Arkham Knights on consoles.
This last one. Yeah.
So it is a little bit slower. Like I did appreciate the flying in Arkham Knights. Like the movement and getting around the map was much better. Like this is still older style, but I'm like, man, this is a Batman game and I'm having a great time and it's snowy. I don't know what's going on out there in the city and I'm enjoying it. So shout out to Batman Arkham Origins. I never played this on, I guess it was on 360 and other consoles, I believe. So yeah, I'm very excited to play this Batman game and that's basically all I've been playing.
Dan, fun fact.
Awesome.
I beat that game on the Wii U. The Armored Edition, as they called it.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Was that like one of the better versions of it or something?
It allowed you to use the touch screen to do some things. Yeah, but it was great on the Wii U. I loved it. I loved that game. Beat it. And then the DLC I never played. I bought the DLC on Steam, and I've got it there. That DLC is amazing. It's really amazing, but that game is kind of trapped. It's not really available well to play anywhere because they don't
PC.
Yeah, because Arkham Origins is by WB Montreal, So the Arkham games, they have those collections. They kind of like don't even like Roxy's like, you don't exist. It's so lame.
No,
but it plays just like the Arkham series. I'm like, this feels
had
like
issues at launch, but it's so much better.
Okay, so I'm looking.
Like they replaced the cast too. Like Batman was what's his face, like Ezio.
I like Ezio. I like how he's doing so far. From what I've heard.
Same voice actor.
Troy Baker, I think, did Two-Face.
He did he did the Joker.
Oh, did he do the Joker? Okay, yeah.
Troy
Roger
Baker
Craig
replaced Mark Hamill as Joker.
Yeah.
So the voice cast. This was a really weird one. That was like that felt. It felt disconnected from the other mainline games.
Was this one a prequel to the series?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It was the prequel, but it was
it was like a Batman Year One almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
The DLC is worth it's $5 for the season pass. The Cold Heart DLC is amazing, so it's $5 for the DLC. Dan, get the DLC.
Okay. Adding it to my cart right now. You're telling me the Cold Heart is worth it. What is it, Initiation 1 too, or is that just something else?
No, I think that's the main. But just get the season pass. It's $5.
Thank you.
Yeah, you get everything. Yeah, good game. Good game.
Yeah.
Okay, Mark. Pikmin 1 and 2. Y'all in the Pikmin?
1 and 2. But first off, since Dan talked about playing some Zelda games, I have been playing the hell out of Minish Cap on my RG35XX SP. I love the Minish Cap. It's been years since I played it, and going back to play it on this thing, just it feels great. And I was actually going to play Link's Awakening on this, like the original version, rather than the one on the Switch, as a lead up to the new Zelda game where you play as Zelda.
Whispers of Echoes, sing
whatever
game with.
That comes out soon, and so I thought about playing that on Switch, and then I was like, maybe I'll play it on this. But then I looked through the Zelda games that I have loaded on this thing and just said like, oh, Minish Cap exists. Let's do that for reasons, I suppose. So loving that, still loving this device. It is my perfect little Game Boy thing. And I ordered the inside sticker for this to make it's going to look, there it is. It's going to look like this. I ordered this sticker.
Ooh, the NES.
For the NES. So the inside's going to look like the NES. And then I have a friend that's printing me a sticker for the top of it because the ones that I saw on Etsy did not please me. Because it's like a full face sticker on Etsy where I only want these lines printed and the Nintendo sign, if you can see that on the video version of this podcast.
Cricket, Mark.
So I'm working on that. Yeah, well, but the friend that's printing it has one of those, and that's instead of buying it myself, I just messaged Matt and was like, "Hey, hook me up." So that's going to happen soon. But I'm very excited to continue to play Minish Cap and eventually get Link's Awakening going on there as well. The DX version, I think I have loaded and ready to go. Going back to old Zelda games is always fun. Aside from old Zelda games, I have been playing Pikmin 1 and 2. My son got completely enamored with Pikmin. We saw a YouTube video, like the Pikmin shorts on YouTube. And he was just like, we were scrolling through, I think some Mario or Pokemon videos or something. And he saw that. And he was like, what is that? I was like, oh, Pikmin. Like, we have Pikmin 4. Do you want to play that? Do you want to watch me play? I don't know if you'll be able to figure it out, but we'll play it together. He's like, yeah, sure. Let's try that one. So we worked our way through Pikmin 4. Didn't completely finish that one. And then I since I had already finished Pikmin 4, I said, like, it's been a long time since I played 1 and 2. And 1, 2, 3, and 4, everything's available on Switch. You can play that whole series on Switch, which is magnificent because it's a great series. And so I picked up Pikmin 1 and 2, and the two of us have been basically working our way through that entire series now. And I'm eventually going to pick up 3 once we finish 2. We completely finished 1. We are I think 2 or 3 locations into Pikmin 2 right now. He is loving it, gets a little frustrated at times, but that's why I'm there to help him through some things. But for the most part, he loves the exploration. I take care of the combat and the harder puzzles. And it's really fun, especially once you get to Pikmin 2 and the time restraint isn't really there. Pikmin 1, you have 30 days to complete no matter what. And you can really kind of golden path that in maybe 16 to 18 days if you kind of know what you're doing. Most likely it's going to take you close to 20 days, maybe a little bit more. With him, I was worried that he'd get frustrated and kind of run out of the time and that kind of stuff. In Pikmin 2, he spent a whole day just walking around and just laughing at the Pikmin following him. Like, I like that gives you that more freedom and you don't have to really rush for things. So, loving the Pikmin series and loving that he's into that and being able to teach him strategy in that way, in a bright, colorful, cute setting. But say, again, for Pikmin 2, all right, buddy, Louis can go over this side. Olimar can go over this side. Divide your Pikmin up. Think of who's strong. You have a fire thing over this side. You have something that you need to collect over that side. How should we divide them up? How many should you take? How many, like that kind of being able to teach him and work through that strategy with him has been really, really cool. So it's a great series if you've somehow missed Pikmin, because I think it's possibly underappreciated.
I've missed all of Pikmin.
Okay.
I played a little bit. I played a little bit.
There are demos available. I know because we have the Pikmin.
Yeah, I've heard great
demo.
things.
Just try it out. See if it's for you, because it's if you like the strategy kind of thing, they are delightful experiences. And there's a bundle for Pikmin 1 and 2, and it's cheaper than, like, both games are cheaper than one full price game. I think it was like $60 or something like that, or I can't remember what Canadian, but it'd be even cheaper for you guys down in the States. So really, really solid if you like that style of game. But download the demo first to see. Even if it's the Pikmin 3 demo, because most of them kind of play in fairly similar ways. Although I will say Pikmin 3 suffers from a bit of motion aiming. Mm-hmm. Because that was I think a Wii game or Wii U or whatever it was, but it was
a Wii U game. They brought Wii over. U? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why the motion aiming is a thing then if it's a Wii U game. That's weird. But you have to it was like the motion control on the Pro controller, which, especially coming from Pikmin 1 and 2 and then jumping into this demo, was really off-putting. Because 1 and 2, it's all just stick controls. It's brought over from GameCube. It's really, really easy to control. Works really well. Pikmin 4, I don't think had any motion control, at least not in my memory. So Pikmin 3 is this weird one that, and I know that's the one with the demo. But try it out. If you can get past that, and then keep in mind that 1, 2, and 4 have just proper stick control. They're really fun strategy games.
Yeah, Wii U, 2013 mark, Pikmin 3.
Okay,
that was the game that was going to send it over the top in the Wii U.
Weird, great game. Great game. I'm having trouble because for some reason Finn wanted to stop playing 2 for a bit and try to play 3 because he's 4 and has no patience. So we downloaded that demo, and it was very off-putting of why am I aiming with it? And there might be something in the setting that I can do stick shift controls. I just didn't look into it because he was playing and I walked in the room this looks different. This isn't 2. What are you doing? He's just I'm playing this one. Leave me alone.
Good luck, kid.
So yeah, not a clue.
Very cool.
But yeah, if you guys have missed them, I highly recommend trying out a demo. See if there's a demo for something other than 3. I'm not sure because I own the rest.
Yeah, 4 definitely has a demo, and it carries your progress forward. So I think that's the one that's, if you want try the best version of Pikmin, I think that's the one to go forward with. And it's if you're curious, go back. Pikmin curious, I guess, is a thing people can be.
And there's kind of overarching story threads-ish, but like nothing where you would need to play one to play.
Mark, I'm not playing
two
Pikmin
or
for a story.
three or what. Exactly. Yeah. You crash on a planet, you got to get something back. Whether it's
unless you have like a fetish for Olimar or Pikmin.
Right. Yeah. Like the first one, you're getting your ship parts back. Yeah. That's it. Repair your ship, fly off the planet. The second one, you need to get money to pay off the debt of the company that hired you to go explore this planet in the first place. Third one, you're collecting food. Fourth one, free for all, just like randomness. That one's fun. There's a lot more environmental stuff in 4 and more of like a mystery and a bigger crew. 4's really cool.
Very cool. Very cool. With that, made me think, Dan, you got 3 Rugrats. What are they playing?
Grayson will play Forza Horizon 5, or actually all the 1 through or 2 through 5. He likes to jump in those, which is awesome with Quick Resume. Shout out to Quick Resume. He also has been playing Yoshi's Crafted World. Love that. Except bad news, you guys. I've been buying carts. He thinks he lost the cart.
Oh no!
He lost the game. Yeah. I think he left it at Kaiser.
Yeah, that's a pain.
He was pretty sad.
The Switch carts are so easy to lose. We lost, ARMS for months.
Yeah,
months. Because
one of like 2 million copies.
And Finn loves that game. He was devastated, and then it just being like, it's so small. It was just in the bottom of a toy box, and it was just like.
I think,
and we even searched in that toy box, missed it because they're just so small. They're dark. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
So worst case scenario for a child.
Yeah, he plays Mario Kart as well on the Switch, and then Donkey Kong. He's actually been doing pretty good at the Donkey Kong, but
the funky one.
Yeah, funky mode. Yes, but lately. I got them all some Amazon Kids tablets because I was sick of letting them watch an iPad or do something, at bedtime or whatever. So I'm like, you guys get an hour and a half of screen time. You need to manage it. And that's what I really like about these things. It's like you have an hour and a half. And now they're like, oh, I'm going to save some for later in the day or at night or something. But of course, now he's just been playing like touchscreen games, like stupid crap like that. So that's what the world we live in, right, Todd? The Gen Zers, the Gen Alpha, the Gen A. That's what they're going to game.
My son's been playing like all these weird games for like
is your son
almost 10 years.
On on Minecraft, or is that you on Minecraft all the time?
No, it's my son. He's a college student now, and they'd be like, I'm making a nuclear detonator. That's what he's doing with his adult friends. Dude, it's weird, Dan.
Like, what is Todd doing? Because I see him your name online. I'm like, what is Todd doing on Minecraft all the time?
No, this is the former Destiny assassin. This is the former, like, I'm playing Final Fantasy 17 or 16 at the highest settings, Dad. You're just a noob. And Elden Ring. And that's what he's doing now. Oh yeah, I beat Elden Ring. It's like, Dad, I gave up. I got bored. I'm like, oh, but you did everything. Like, whatever. I'm like, yeah. But now he's like, I'm playing Minecraft again. I'm like, oh God, why did you buy this gaming PC? Well, Dad, if I do this on my tablet, it wouldn't even hold up because he's doing a billion things. Regardless, but yes, that's the way it is. So
Minecraft and Skibbity Toilet and send him on the way.
Exactly. Oh yeah, he's like, Dad, you don't know about this thing? And I'm like, no, I don't know about this thing online. Sorry, I just don't have the energy. Oh well. Very, very good to hear though that Dan, you're look forward to like the next 18 years of your life. Like, what are my children doing? And they'll turn into adults. But for myself, I've been playing a very adult game, AstroBot. See the little bot behind me. Dan, you said this is a nostalgia member berries. Oh my God, what are people doing?
Wrong?
It's got higher reviews than this. What is even going on, people? Why aren't you playing Mass Effect Collection for the 85th time? Did I do a good Dan? Idea. Is that like me channeling Dan? I think I like that one.
Here's the thing: AstroBot on PS5, great tech demo. But when I hear people saying AstroBot on the PS5 was one of the greatest platformers ever made, I'm like, you're out of your mind. That's insane. Okay, it was a great tech demo with some
greatest free game ever.
Maybe, but when it comes to platformers, let's not disgrace Super Mario World of even the Donkey Kongs or the Celestes or the Super Meat Boy. I don't want to hear AstroBot in there, but from what I hear about this game, I hear it's very good. But Todd, you can't deny that there's a lot of PlayStation nostalgia going on with some of these reviews. I'm shocked. You're telling me this game is as good as Elden Ring on the DLC and the game. A 95, Todd? 95?
Dan, I've played Elden Ring. Oh. I know what Elden Ring is. It's not for me. It's for certain people that like to have their nuts kicked and said, come back later. I'll pay you again. But I get what it's doing. My son played it. And I'm like, I beat like one of the first encounters. I'm like, that's great.
Not for me.
And I don't have the time or interest to keep doing that again. That exercise for me was not interesting. It was just like, I didn't get a high from it. I'm like, that sounds like work. It's going to be like grinding, coming back, exploring area, coming back, doing that, getting weird stuff, meeting crazy, creepy people. To me, that has no enjoyment to it. That sounds like a lot of work, 60 hours of work. And then eventually I've done enough work that I can beat the crap out of people. I'm like, that's not fun. What's fun to me is the immersive gameplay of just getting into a level like, holy crap, what's going to happen? I don't know. I'm going to get in this level, and it's so much fun. It is like 5 minutes of fun at a time.
Yes.
It is definitely inspired by the best of Mario, where we get them, and it's like, hey, let's explore a concept and not you reuse it 85 times. They have definitely gotten from that. But whereas Nintendo at times, they find the difficulty. It's like, it's fun, it's easy, but we'll find the difficulty. Definitely this game is that same mindset. There's these challenges, which are just crazy. And people are talking like, why did I do that just for one bot? Because it's there. And my wife was listening to the music and she was like, Todd, why are you doing this? Because I'm like, because I got to beat it. It's fun. And I know I can do better. So that's like the Elden Ring mindset. Like, I can do it. And this is what's doing it for me. It's not about leveling up. There's no leveling up in this game. I have the same abilities every time. Only your skill is going to get through this. It's not the armor you get eventually. It's not that things. You're not leveling up like an RPG. This is like, do you have good reflexes in understanding the rhythm or how it's going to lay out? And I love it. For me, that's great because I feel like I'm getting better as I go on it, and I don't have to spend hours to do that. So for me, this is my drug versus Elden Ring, where it's other people's drugs. Totally get that. But this game is so charming. It utilizes the best parts of the PlayStation 5, which I love, which is the DualSense. It's the immersion. What they did and what they brought into that controller, which I know people don't like, that's fine. Do your own thing. But I love it. It's speaking to you. It's feeling. It's doing all these things, and it feels amazing. To me, no other console has been able to bring all the pieces together into one thing that says, I can feel this world, and I'm loving it. So I really enjoy this so much.
Just talk about everybody want to Switch? Like what?
I know. I haven't shaved with my controller yet. I haven't milked a cow with my controller. But I tell you, the one thing that stands out in this game, you're pulling this thing and it feels like a spring. I have never felt a game where it's like, this feels like I'm pulling a spring. I can hear it. It feels just like, and it just brings joy to my heart. Yeah. So
Todd,
yes.
I want you to know, I think Astronaut, it will be a great game. I can't wait to play it on my PC right up here. Right here. See me kissing my PC right now.
Yes. In 2 years, you'll be playing it.
I will wait for the port, which is fine. Yep. I have to say, as much as I dislike the DualSense ergonomics, the sticks, the general feel, the only controller I've ever had cramps, and I'm like, this is uncomfortable. I have to give it credit.
I don't understand
that the little, what's the haptic vibrations?
Yeah, it's the haptic.
Excellent tech in there. I do wish the Xbox controller did have that, but the triggers, that's not. I turn those off.
Yeah, the resistant controllers sometimes
they did a great. I got to give them credit, but the speaker, not for me either. I don't think that's very cool.
And that's why people complain about.
Get rid of the touchpad. Let's be.
It's weird. It's a big button. I totally get that. But when people say why PlayStation, like why do the batteries last so long? Because it's doing like 85 things more than the others are. Because it's got motion controls. It's got a speaker. It's got colors. I'm like, of course, the battery's not going to last as long as where like the Nintendo controller's doing basically NFC and that's it, and maybe some like shaking some. I don't know what was it? Ice cubes. Yeah. So oh well. Other than this, the game makes me happy. It's wonderful. It's a $60 game. And I do love the fact that it is a nostalgia fest, but it does in the best ways. Like there's an Uncharted level. There is a level where you could, it's great because you're doing shooting with AstroBot. It just really embraces it, and I love it. I think it's great because why shouldn't gaming celebrate itself? Because Xbox should.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Nintendo has celebrated itself for every year. It's like, oh, it's the year of Nintendo. It's the year of Luigi. And I'm like, I love it. But it's a great game. And I mean, the big thing is like, can you get all 300 bots? And I'm like, I've got 165 bots and I want to get more. It's addictive.
Yeah. You'll get the platinum for. I got the platinum for the first game. It's not too difficult, is it?
No, but it's great. But I'm loving this. So I think it's a game, and I think that brings back the joy. And when people says PlayStation isn't doing anything for other ages, they've got this game, they've got Lego Horizon, they've got Ratchet and Clank. So I think they do bring in, with their first party, they do bring in games. So I've really enjoyed this game. It's clever, cute, fun. My wife is watching while I play on the couch. She was like, I love the music. It's amazing. And I'm like, yes, the music is amazing. Every level has new music, and there's literally 80 levels. So you think of every music has that. And I think my heart went the highest level when you see some of the characters you get. And then when you build your world out, it's like the Miiverse in Wii U, Mark, where all of your Astros are out there and you go visit them and they're doing things, you hit them and they do different reactions.
I forgot about those things.
It's such great fan service. And I love it, but it doesn't, that's not the whole purpose of the game.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I did geek out a little bit when I saw the Quill bot from Moss, like the little mouse warrior. I love Moss and Moss 2. Fantastic games. If you haven't played them, get VR and fix that. But seeing the Moss bot, I did have like a little like, oh, that's adorable. What else did they do in this game? That was one of the first bots that I saw that was like, I think I saw the God of War bot or something like that.
There's an ape. There's all these different bosses that are hilarious. Yeah, I've not gotten to the God of War level, and I'm so excited for that. I cannot wait. It just makes me smile. It opens my cold heart. So in a game that's less friendly, but is still pretty damn cool, that's Space Marine 2. So, Dan, I was on a certain podcast with Bacon. We talked about this, which was this podcast?
Yeah,
it was this podcast where we thought,
you crazy fools.
Space Marine 2 is coming to Game Pass, right? Yeah, it is. No, it's not. We all believed it was. Because somehow
I was yelling in my car, be like, what are you guys talking about?
Right?
It is not coming to Game Pass. Nobody ever said that. It was never advertised that. What are you guys thinking? Just yelling to myself.
Okay, but it's not just, I literally was looking, I'm not going to get into this again. But there's people on Reddit that are as crazy as we are.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. It's because we've become so conditioned to expecting stuff like this to come to Game Pass.
That's what I thought. I'm like, I don't need to buy this game.
Yeah, but I'm glad I don't need things. Did you GameFi this?
So, no. So
you bought it. Good.
One of the best. No. One of the best things about this game. And Dan. So, Dan.
I plan on playing.
And you will agree with me. One of the best things about PC gaming is Steam Family Game Share. The library you share.
I know nothing.
You don't?
I have no one to share things with. I just
Dan, I will invite you to my family, La Familia. We're here. We're family. What's the Olive Garden theme?
When you're here, you're family.
When you're here in my Steam Library family, you're my family. So you're more than welcome to join my family, Dan. I will invite you in.
Multiple people playing at the same time.
Vin Dieseling over here.
Family. Yeah. So the only restriction is you cannot play the same game at the same time. But everything else in your library is wide open to play. And this is amazing. So my buddy Sean Nias, we built his PC for him. He got Space Marine 2 as part of his free Risen CPU. Exactly. So he's got it in his library. So he's got his young Henry. He's like 10, can't play this game. Well, Sean may not be able to play this game either because of time and things like that. So it's in the library, shared. I played it. This game is beautiful on my 4070, but I've heard it's a kind of a hot mess on console right now because it is a lot of bugs coming at you when you're a badass space marine. This is like the closest thing we've got to a Gears of War game in some time. There's no cover-based shooting though, but it is certainly a weird space fantasy. I love the first game. This game is awesome. It's gory. It's crazy. And I like it.
Yeah. I've heard nothing but good things. So this definitely be one that I'll pick up on a sale. Like me, Bacon, and Jose, I'm sure Bacon said that too. Like we're all, this is one we definitely want to check out. And I don't know if you've watched Zenkai Goose. He's been on the show a couple times, Todd, and he even was like raving about how fun it was just because it lets you play the game right away. And it's just old school, 360 days fun,
Yeah, it's awesome. Like Evil West. It's a lot of those games that feel like when a game was just a game.
Did you play Remnant too?
I did, but I didn't love Remnant because it felt more like it was the Souls-like with guns. This one is definitely more of a straightforward. There's no like you lose all your loot and gear. It is definitely a straightforward console adventure game, like a Gears of War. That's the best way to say it. This is like Gears of War without the cover mechanic. And there is co-op in this game, but I have not played any co-op in it. And obviously, unless I find people to play with, which I can, it's on Steam. I'll do that. But it's very cool. I mean, come on. A chainsaw sword.
Todd, you'll be happy to know in our Fantasy Critic League, we drafted AstroBot, or we picked up AstroBot, the controversy about us picking that, but we did fairly. And we drafted Space Marine way back in the day. And well, then. We drafted Plucky Squire, which I'm anticipating reviews out tomorrow. Yeah. So
PS Plus tomorrow, baby. I'll be trying that game out too.
I don't have PlayStation anymore. Sorry, John.
I know Mark doesn't either. So there we go. Yeah. I'm the old man on the sea. I have a PC. I sold my Xbox Series X. I have a PlayStation. I have a Switch that barely gets looked at, but I will play that with the Zelda Echoes of Wisdom because that's cool. Last game. I can't say much about it, is Star Wars Outlaws. Myself, I was invited to talk about this game with Riketsu, a.k.a. Clint Coombs. I told him my game from Gamefly didn't deliver for like 10 days. It's finally here. I gave it a try. I wish this game was more Uncharted Star Wars than it was Assassin's Creed.
Splinter Cell Star Wars. Stealth.
Yeah. I don't love that.
I hear they're going to make some updates to the stealth. Yep. Didn't they talk about this where they're going to not make?
They dropped a patch.
I heard David Jaffe's high in this game.
Yeah, there's a bigger patch dropping next week that's apparently going to change some of the structure of early stealth missions that are apparently frustrating. I haven't played the game. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't played it either.
Relaying that information.
Heard it's rough, like that first few hours, similar to Starfield. Yeah. But I hear once you get past, like it's Star Wars. Like if you love Star Wars,
well, I know that's the thing. I'm so excited for this game. It's a smuggler. You're a smuggler played by Kay Vest, which I laughed because she's wearing a vest. So now she's Kay Vest, and she's Jan Solo because when you wear a vest and you're a smuggler, it's like, come on, guys, do we have to make it that close to Han Solo? Come on. Do better. Give her a Henley, give her a button up, give her a urban poncho, give her a sombrero, give her something else to make her look iconic. Come on.
You can't do ponchos because Cal Kestis owns the Star Wars.
Oh, he's already got it.
Poncho market. He's got that cornered.
Yeah, he did. He got you there, Todd.
So then what are you going to do? You got to vest it up.
Yeah, gotcha.
Todd, I believe you're muted.
How about a brilliant Star Wars business casual blazer?
Perfect.
There we go. There we go. That's all I want. That's all I want, Star Wars. But I like it so far. It's kind of cool. I mean, it opens up. You're definitely in the underground. Once again, it's the trope of, I want to get one heist to get off my world and explore. So I feel like we just got to get some better storylines in Star Wars. But at this point, I'm thinking this is kind of cool. She's got her little guy, Nix, and you eventually get a crew together to perform big deals. So I'm hopeful it's going to be better. And we'll see how it goes from there. But I'm too early in to make an impression. But it's from Gamefly, so I don't have interest in it. The game that I'm going to play next, maybe with Charlie Carden eventually, and that is Funko Fusion. Oh my goodness. Gamefly, somebody just, I can't see it. Funko Fusion. The disc arrived. This is the weird, like Lego-like Funko game, which I played
Oh,
demo.
yeah. Didn't you play that already, Todd? Or you played the demo?
I played a demo.
Yeah,
I played the demo on
talked to us
Steam.
about that, yeah.
I really liked it, so I'm curious about that as well. So we'll see how that goes, because we are not getting a Lego game. Well, we are with Horizon, but if you're not a Horizon fan, this game's for everybody. It's on every console. So we are done with what we've been playing. I will talk more about things in the future, but before that, here is an ad. Hey, Secret Friends Unite, let me tell you about Zencastr. We use them for our show, and now they're supporting us. Zencastr is now the all-in-one solution making podcasting easy. It's the ultimate web-based podcasting solution. Provides high-quality audio and video podcast production and hosting. With a full suite of professional tools, podcasters can seamlessly record, produce, and publish studio-quality content, all from one dashboard. Being a creator has never been easier. And we chose Zencastr because of the ease of use, high quality output, and it makes it super easy for our guests to come on. We had multiple solutions we tried before, and Zencastr has just been the best fit for us. Why Zencastr? It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sounds and up to 4K video with your guests. Feel a sense of zen knowing Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. Have you ever worried what you sound like? Zencastr's post-production process makes you sound buttery smooth. It automatically removes those ums and ahs in your recording. It removes those awkward pauses in conversation too. Set the right podcast loudness and levels while reducing background noise with the click of a button. So if you're interested in making an easy, high-quality podcast just with the click of a browser button, go to Zencastr.com/pricing and use my code SFU1. You'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experiences I do for all my podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. Now back to the show. So we're in the bonus round, and this week the question is the era of affordable console gaming over? In an era where a PS5, well, let me break this down, Dan. You're jumping too much on this.
Thanks. See you all next week for another exciting
episode. This is the quickest segment ever. We're done. We've said it. In an era where the PS5 Pro is $699, no drive, no stand, but if you want those things, it'll cost you $110. The Xbox Series X gives you an extra terabyte for a cheap $600, $599. A Switch OLED still costs $350. Been no price break on the Switch console. A 4060 Ti costs you $400 for the PC to get to basically DLSS on the cheap for a PC rig. ROG Ally, they had to drop the price, but it's currently at $550 if you want the current version. And the Steam Deck, you can get a refurb for $300 for the 64 gigabyte version, or an OLED 1 terabyte for $550. So you can get an Xbox Series S for $300 retail, probably cheaper over the holidays. So there we are. So, what is value? Where's consoles fit? And I'm just going to do this a little bit of preface with the history of the basically, it's going to be a very short history. Sorry. How the gaming, basically the modeling of how they sold their systems and how they made their money used to be. It was the razor blade model. I used to do that in sales with medical diagnostic equipment. Basically, it was like, you buy the equipment, the hardware, whatever, it's cheap, and then you're going to make up all your money on those consumables, the things that people need, the razor blades, the games, all those things that they'll eventually make their money back on so they can take a loss on the hardware and move on. That's how we got like the $200, PS1. We got, all these systems that cost very cheap. They got cheaper over time. You eventually get revisions. They get cheaper over time, but you still buy the games. The games didn't get cheaper. Every generation, typically, they got more expensive. That's how it's been for 40 years, gentlemen. That is not true any longer. Nobody wants to take a bath on the hardware. Nintendo's been doing this. That's why they made this. They went with cheap Switch hardware that they could still make a profit on day one at $300. Sell it for a few years, make a revision, sell the Switch Lite at $200. Go from there. This generation, though, We've got the Switch that has not taken any price cuts. We've got the PS5 that has not taken any price cuts. Actually went up in price. And the Xbox Series systems that have also not taken a price cut. They've gone up in price except for the occasional sale. So with that, where are we at with where we're going next? We've got the Switch 2. Essentially, we're hearing rumors about a $400 price point. We're hearing that Xbox may launch new hardware, skip the Pro, in 2026. And then obviously we're going to get new NVIDIA hardware, the 50 series, coming out in 2024, this fall, maybe 2025. We've seen NVIDIA raise their prices over time, every generation, don't get cheaper. And then with that, we've got handhelds that, quite honestly, I don't know if they're all saying they basically launch these at a loss as well and are looking to get more aggressive in pricing. So with that, Dan, is the era of affordable console gaming, when I say console gaming, I'm talking about something you buy, you put in a game, and you play. Is that over?
No, I don't think that it is. And I think we're always, if these manufacturers are smart, there should be a very affordable and accessible point of entry. Nintendo, like you just said, it doesn't seem like they're going to switch it. You said the rumors are $400. More expensive than a Switch, right? But kind of expected. Like I can justify that if I'm getting a Switch 2. The Xbox Series, great value. As much as people want to dog on the Series S all the time on the internet, that console is a phenomenal piece of hardware. I own one. That's what Grayson plays. Great time. Plays many games at 60 FPS. A great entry point for younger gamers. PlayStation though, and Xbox hardcore, that's where I don't know what's next. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, Todd, like with the PS5 Pro, which again, you listened to our episode. If you are a diehard PlayStation fan, that's all you play and you want the best of the best and you do care about performance, by all means, go spend that money. Go spend the $700. What is value to you? It varies by everybody. Like, some people will think I'm crazy. I spent $1,000 on my 4080, the GPU. But to me, from what I've experienced, I can't imagine not having this PC how I built it. And I love that I did it myself and I got to pick what I wanted. And I'm blown away by the games that I play. But I'm a very small particular customer, just like the PlayStation 5 Pro customers are. I think for the next generation of consoles, I don't know, man. I think the Switch changed a lot, and I was wrong about the Switch. When I heard about the Switch, I was like, "This is the dumbest thing ever." Boy, was I wrong, because going to go down as probably the best-selling console ever. Potentially, is it going to pass the PlayStation 2? Maybe. I mean, it should, right? So I think it has to go back to what is the most accessible way for people to get into your ecosystem. You would think price is a factor, but I don't know. I'm really interested to hear what you have to say, Mark, because I don't know what Xbox and PlayStation are going to do next time, because I don't think there's any benefit to just being like, we've got more power and we've got more SSD and graphics. I think something else needs to change. So, Mark, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's like, I think I see those pro consoles and like the bleeding edge technology for basically super hardcore fans like us. Like, we're a pretty small segment. We can be a vocal segment because we sit here and we talk about things and we put it on the internet for people to hopefully watch and listen to and all that kind of stuff. So we give our impressions on things and we buy new things to keep up with stuff because this is a big hobby part of our life. But I think you nailed it when you said there has to be an affordable barrier of entry. And I think I mentioned it on the last episode, which was the Xbox seems to be moving in a direction where they want to have powerful hardware and they want to make that themselves. But I think I genuinely think that even the Xbox Series S isn't what they're looking at as their first barrier of entry anymore. That they're testing the water right now with that Amazon Fire Stick deal that they had with, here's a controller, here's a Fire Stick, here's Game Pass Ultimate. That's your entry point. That is your cheap, you want to play some games, play our games. You like this, keep getting a subscription. You do not need to spend any more hardware money. Other than that, the game's going to look good enough. It's going to stream instantly. You don't have to worry about downloading or doing any of this shit. You want it, here it is. You don't even have to worry about updates, patches, all that kind of stuff. It's done on the cloud. It's done on the back end. You want this simple, plug it in and just go. Enjoy some games. That as a starting point, entry point on something like a Prime Deals Day or Black Friday deals or something like that is, I think, going to, in the next couple of years, replace that entry-level console. The entry-level console, as we see it now, I think is going to be that middle ground. And I love that middle ground because I think that's the average consumer. You want something a little bit more reliable than streaming. You want something that where you can jump into the more of the ecosystem than just like Game Pass.
Can this play Grand Theft Auto? Can this play Roblox? Yeah. Can this play Fortnite? And can this play Madden? And for a long period of time, that's a good middle ground.
And I think that middle ground, that's, that hopefully will still be affordable. And then you'll have the top spec things. And it's just like any other, like if you're an Apple fan or something like that, do you need the iPhone, what just came out, 16 Pro Max? Mm-hmm. Probably not. No. For like that's got pro level cameras and mics and this and that and whatever else. Do most people need it? God, no. Absolutely not. Do you want it? If you have the money for it, go crazy. But like for the most part, like you can still now, especially with new hardware coming out, you can find an iPhone 15 or 14 for like the barrier entry price. And then the 15's that middle ground, the 16 Pro or those higher levels. And I think the gaming market will be the same unless we really start to see people speak with their wallets. Because I think a pro console like PlayStation 5 Pro is also a good testing ground. PlayStation can see that and go, man, this sold out day one to those hardcore people, and now it's just sitting there at $700. We're going to have to just, tank the price of this. And PlayStation 6, no way in hell we can price that thing at $700. Or we need a PlayStation 6, whatever, entry level model and then price it up because like the $700 one isn't selling. Like if people speak with their wallets, that speaks, I think, more than anything, more than people on a podcast or anything else, that really talks to these companies. And it'll be the same thing with Switch. If, Switch 2 comes out and they don't have a Switch Lite or a model, I think we talked about last time, a model potentially without a dock. And you can add, that would be $100 cheaper. And then you add the dock to bring it up to that, $400 price point, whatever. Maybe that's it. But I think as people begin to speak with their wallets, like companies notice that and they shift around and they adjust it. Xbox One's a great example of that, of like, oh, people don't want a camera. They don't want Kinect built in. They don't want this. They don't want that. We're not selling this. This is a failed price point and a failed product, and we need to reconsider and readjust. And I can see some kickback to that at these kind of price points. I can see the average consumer just being like, who gives a shit? I can get a Switch at, if you have a family, I can get 2 or 3 Switch Lites for the price of one PlayStation Pro. Switch is good enough. Let's go. Like a big library and that's it. Like
you could get a PS5 or a Series X and a Switch for the cost.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. And I remember that argument for the Wii. It was, you can get a Wii and an Xbox 360 core
for the Wii
for the price of the PlayStation 3, right? Like that was a thing, the Wii 60 combo. That got me in. I skipped the PlayStation that generation because I had an Xbox 360 and a Wii for less than the price of a PlayStation. And I had the best gaming library for the time because I had my Gears, I had my fun Wii Sports stuff for depending on which friend group I wanted to play with or what kind of mood I was in. I really think those kind of considerations can be done as well. Because I think it would be hilarious for Switch to come, or Nintendo to come out with like, here's Switch 2. You can buy 4 of them for the price of a PlayStation Pro. Or, you know, it won't be that extreme, but like you can buy 2 of these for the price of this. Like, I think that's going to speak. And I think that's, it'll speak with the numbers. So I'd be curious to see.
Yeah, I think maybe the better question is the era of affordable high performance console gaming over? And I would say yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Because at this point, I think the Switch has shown you that if games look good enough, that's good. The Series S has shown you if the games are good enough, it's good enough. Yeah. So then Microsoft, that's why I feel like Microsoft is going to double down and say, why we put so much into having the highest performing game when it hasn't paid off from sales, where we've had the highest performing system from a performance perspective, hasn't beat PlayStation. They say, why don't they just say from now on, if you want that, we have PC. Our games are all on PC if you want that performance. Yeah. But if you want a way to play our awesome games easily in wherever you want to play, we're going to basically go after the handheld market.
Here's our Switch console.
Exactly. And I feel like, 1080p 30 maybe in handheld mode, 720 at 60, whatever. Docked though, where you get more power out wattage, you get better ventilation. It can do 1080 120, 4K 30, maybe even whatever, whatever. Regardless, I think people are happy. And then it's like, oh, well, my family doesn't want to watch me play games. I'm going to take it off the dock. And we can maybe cast. If I don't have, the game I want, I can stream. I can do all this stuff. So I think that satisfies enough for people, because the whole argument about like PC gaming is weird. Because I think a lot of people that want a console experience, well, now you can try to point them towards that, but it's like they don't want the hassle.
Yeah, until that's one thing, Todd. Sorry to interrupt. Bacon is always like, I can't play the Switch because I hate that hardware. I want to play at the highest fidelity. And he's like, if you really want, you need to switch to PC if you want the. But I'm like, dude, not everybody wants that. First of all, and second of all, the convenience and accessibility of consoles is unmatched. I cannot plug and play this PC. Yes, I play on my giant TV, and I think Joe mentioned this on the trophy room, or he called me out on this. I'm in a situation where I can play in this monitor, or I sit back there on that couch and play but I have made that work, and it is a little bit of work. But I want to stress to everyone out there, you can play PC games on your nice fancy TV from the couch. It is completely doable.
Long HDMI cable goes a long way. Wireless keyboards.
I've got like a 10-foot one. Exactly. It is, but I don't even need to. I can put this underneath my TV if I wanted to. But I want to stress that, but I also want to stress bacon. Not everybody wants top of the line performance. Not everyone wants a PC. Consoles still have a space. And Todd, I think going back to the handheld thing is, I think I just underestimated how much these have affected everyday life, and especially younger kids. Like, Grayson has a Switch, but I'll still see him playing his stupid touch crap games on his tablet over his Switch, which is concerning to me. But my
19-year-old son. Now we're not even talking about young kids. My son, who has every system available to himself. What is he playing? He's playing. He has a gaming PC at college. What is he playing? He's playing on mobile games. He's playing Minecraft. So I think the relevancy of the gaming systems you can have, it's the system you have in your hand and what's available there. If that game is not available there where you can play, it doesn't exist. And I think people have to be smart about this. Now, what I would say is, I think Microsoft they've lost the battle to Steam, where Steam made big picture mode. They did all these things. What is Windows doing? They have lost the battle for PC Store. They've lost the battle for getting your system to work great. The Xbox app on PC is okay. It's not great.
I got to interrupt. I've had zero issues with my Xbox app on PC, and I think it runs.
Dan, I have not. So we've got a 50% connect, and that's the problem. Unless it's 100% lock, we've lost the battle. When you've got a driver issue with your PC because it doesn't run. No. It's absolutely true, because I have an Asus TUF GPU. You may have this one. It doesn't work. That's the problem with PC gaming. There's too many variables. My RAM is different than somebody else's. It breaks. We've got this. That's the problem. And I hate to say this. This is why console gaming works. It's one spec set that works that you can modify it. It's ridiculous, Dan, because the hardware I have should be able to beat a PC when I'm like, my PC cannot beat a console because the drivers aren't optimized and I got to use 80. No, this is absolutely true, because I've been building PCs before you were even in college, Dan. I will give you that, young whippersnapper. And it's always been a battle. It's not easy. It's great.
This is my first one, and I've had zero issues with it.
No, and I just build my buddies. It's fine. No, I joke, because it is. That's everybody's battle. It is what it is.
It is what it is. I think the bottom line is PC's not for everybody. Hardcore consoles aren't for everybody. But I do think we have to. I've said this on the Nerd Chat so many times. We have to switch our perspective on what gaming is now in 2024, because it's not the same as it was in 1994. It's not the same as it was in 2004. It's not the same as it was back in 2014 when the PS4 and Xbox One launched. And we have to start thinking about what our kids are growing up with. And they are growing up with so much more technology than we could have ever imagined when we were growing up. And we have to change our mindset. Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
Yep. My son was sitting on the couch. You're talking about being able to play your games on your couch. Now, I know when my TV, the living room, I want to hang out with everyone. That's, again, why this thing is great. I can play my retro games, and they look great on this device. There's still retro games of playing, Game Boy Advance and Super Nintendo games. My son was sitting on the couch, uninterrupted, had his screen time option there, could play Xbox, could play Switch, could play the 3DS, whatever. He had every system right there in front of him, all the controllers. He was playing a touchscreen game on his VTech watch that his godmother gave him for his birthday. It's very simple. You press the conveyor belt and rotate the conveyor, and it delivers presents down a conveyor belt to the next stage. That's what he chose to play. Specifically asked me, I'm like, dude, the Switch is right there. Do you want to keep playing? Do you want to play some Pikmin? Do you want to play, Mario Kats or something? And he's like, no, just where's my watch? Okay. Like that's, it's, and I don't know if that's because he was 4 or it's just because like you said, like these kids have all of this stuff at their fingertips, but a lot of time they play what's immediately right there. Yes. It's their phone or this game, or sometimes they just want like that dumb, dopamine hit of like pressing a button and then the screen explodes and everyone's like, yay. The Vampire Survivor effect of like, ooh, colors, let's keep playing this. Like sometimes it doesn't have to be the most amazing fidelity. It can be just that simple little like monkey brain, serotonin, whatever the happiness chemical thing in your brain. And I think that plays such a big factor into it that a lot of times, because again, for people like us, that trigger is, oh, look at how many pixels this is pushing out. Oh, look at the dynamic, lighting or this kind of graphic or something. Like that's what triggers it for us. But I think there's a whole lot of people out there that it doesn't matter if it's this or, this or the highest fidelity game. It's just whatever is triggering it in that moment. I think that's an interesting factor too, of like, you can get the most expensive $700 Pro console, but if the games aren't as fun as something that costs 99 cents or is included in an Apple Arcade subscription or whatever, if it's not as fun, you're going to be spending more time again on the device that's always with you. Yeah. Do you play mobile games at all?
No, like zero mobile. Zero. I've never gotten into. I tried. I'm trying to see. I have one thing. If anything, I would just like stream Game Pass to my phone. But yeah, to me, I have Call of Duty Warzone Mobile, which I just accidentally opened there. and I tried that for a game, and I was like, "This is cool." But to me, like, this is just like a separate device. I use this for other reasons. Like, I use this for social media. I use this for, reading Twitter or going to YouTube. I just don't see this as a gaming device like younger kids do. So no, I haven't gotten into the mobile gaming.
I watched a great video from Wolf Den. If you haven't, he does a lot of like retro handhelds and that kind of stuff. If you haven't checked out his YouTube videos, but he had a great video talking specifically about that. Of every time he posts a video, every time he makes something about one of these retro handhelds, like these kind of devices, people always come back. Why don't you just attach a Razer Kishi to your phone? And there is something with that. There's Todd's holding his up right now. There is something about that where I'm the same way as you. I will play some games. Like I have a page of games on my phone, and I have like Shovel Knight and Jetpack Joyride, Vampire Survivors, the Alto Odyssey games, like those kind of things. Like I have Crossy Road on there. I love Crossy Road. But for me, as soon as I try to connect a controller to this to play something, I'll say more meaningful or more console feeling, there's some kind of disconnect in my brain that I just right can't. It's not. That's not what my phone is for.
I'll just grab this.
Yeah.
I'll just grab this. That's what this is for. The Switch.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this beautiful.
As long as your Switch is not dead.
Look at the Nitro deck. But that's the thing with mobile gaming is like I feel like it just destroys the battery on here. But it is cool, Todd. If I had something like that, I've been contemplating.
It's a great controller because it is definitely everything. It's got back buttons. It's got 360 essentially set up. It's still the GameSir G8 Galileo. It's great. I love it. It's the best way to play. It's really wonderful. It does feel like a console. The software is so, but I like it better than like a Backbone because it does. I mean, it feels like you're using a thing. It's got real sticks, real, it's great. It is interesting where we're at because I play Wordle every night. That is the worst game that drives myself and my wife nuts every day, but it is there. So we could talk about this all night, but the question becomes really, I think we're going to be in a unique era where we cannot rely on game systems to take price cuts. We cannot. We don't have to think about games dying on an old console. They're just going to exist going forward. So your old hardware will exist going forward. I mean, Fortnite still plays on PS4, still plays on Xbox One VCR, still plays on Switch. Call of Duty, the new one, still plays on PS4 and the Xbox One. So until we can get people going forward, they're going to stay on their systems because it's what they've got. It's cheap and it's where they play now. So with that, we do have the Switch coming out, which I think will be the last holdover of affordable systems that play the best and newest from that provider. And we'll see where Xbox goes next. Will Xbox games be the best on an Xbox system? Or will we see Indiana Jones?
They'll be best on PC.
Be best on PS, PlayStation 5 Pro and GTA 6. Will it be best on PS5 Pro? Because there won't be a PC version. So that's the challenge. But you know what, folks? Play where you can afford. Yes. I'm not spending an extra $400 just to get a PlayStation 5 Pro. It's silly. They didn't show anything that deserves that. So
I still can't believe the games they showed, by the way. Just terrible.
They showed nothing new.
Let's show PS4 games the whole time. Okay.
Nothing new. Right? Where's the state of play showing this is coming? Where's the DLC for whatever? Nothing. Yes.
Wasn't there supposed to be a state of play this Thursday or something? Wasn't that the rumor? Where is that? What PlayStation? What is going on? We need answers. Todd needs answers. I don't need answers because I'll play on my PC.
I do. If Xbox was actually a worthy competitor, maybe PlayStation would have to respond. But they don't. See,
it's always Xbox's fault, you guys.
Yes, poor little Xbox, $3 trillion company can't compete. Oh well, that is fun. I hope you guys all had a good time. You know what? We didn't decide anything. That's fine. We know things are only getting more expensive.
Here's right away. He said no.
Yeah, no. But I will say I'm excited to see what Xbox is going to do because they need to change something. Either they're out of here or they're going to do something Switch like. And I think was it you saying this? I hope they do something wacky and crazy because clearly competing with PlayStation 1-to-1, it's never worked. And having the strongest console has never benefited them. So just Xbox, do your own thing. You're already going to be the biggest publisher with Call of Duty, which, by the way, what an incredible purchase by Activision. Let's be real. They were smart on that one. And put your games everywhere. But I'm excited to see what happens. PlayStation, you got to do – PlayStation is like Apple. Like it's an iPhone. Everyone's like, I'm just going to get it because I think it's cool. But a majority of the people who play on PlayStation don't even play the exclusives. They don't care. They just know they can play their typical games. So I'm excited either way, Todd.
It's going to be a crazy world, man. And we don't need competitors doing the same thing. We need people doing cool, unique things, wacky things. So Xbox, bring back Kinect. I don't know, maybe.
No. God,
we're getting a camera. You know what? We're getting
we said this on the Nerd Chat. If you want good performance and you're a big PlayStation fan, all we're saying, consider a PC. Just consider it. Do some research. If you are about the graphics and you are about
ROG Ally, play PlayStation,
PC,
play Xbox games there, and then get a Switch.
Mark, I don't know if you know.
That's the new.
I love this piece.
It's right here. I've noticed that.
No, that is the new thing. Get a ROG Ally or a Steam Deck, and then get a Switch. That's all we need to do.
We underestimate the influence of influencers streaming. Like that's huge. Like that's another thing we didn't even talk about. So
exactly. Yeah. So save your money. Get a ROG Ally, a Steam Deck, and a Switch too.
$60.
Yeah, just play Game Boy games. Play your Switch, Xbox.
Or thousands of games.
Or apparently this fall, get your Switch OLED console with Mario Kart for the 8th year in a row. That's where we're at in the world of games. Oh, well, folks, don't listen to us. We don't know what we're doing. We're just playing our games that we try to love. Mark's playing Pikmin 1 and 2. Daddy Wally is playing old Switch games. 2013. Exactly. And I'm playing Funko Fusion, so we don't know anything. Okay, well, that is it. Dan, thank you. We put the bat signal up. You answered. Right. So tell people where they can find you.
Guys, thank you again for having me on. Mark, we got to get you on Nerd Chat. We got to bring both of you on to the Nerd Chat. We're going to have to set that up sometime. So again, thank you for having me. You can follow me at Daddy D Wally across all social media. You can follow the Nerd Chat at the Nerd Chat on all social media. We're just a group of best friends who love talking about gaming, food, and the good old days. And Todd's been on a few times, and we just have a good time there. So again, thank you for having me. And yeah, that's it.
Mark,
thanks for coming on. Yeah, that's you can find me at mostly on Instagram.
I do see your pictures. I do see the Star Wars. I see you with your cool lightsabers. I'm like, gosh, I suck. I don't have one of those.
There's affiliate links in the show notes for Holocron Chronicles. You can follow me everywhere at Canardian_Jedi.
Excellent. You can follow me on Threads at Teoxtra, at Secret Friends Unite. Check out our Discord, check out our website, and check out our fantasy football podcast. We're having a good time. Looks like I won this week, even after Tua and Tyreek laid an egg.
Whoa.
Yeah. So with that, thank you, gentlemen. And remember, it's always better to game together.
See you online.
So did you say Tua laid an egg? Would that make it like a bird? So like a hawk Tua?
No.
This podcast is part of the Secret Friends Unite podcasting network, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and podcast services around the galaxy, as well as video on our YouTube channel. You can support Secret Friends Unite by becoming a Patreon member, get bonus programs and more over at patreon.com/secretfriendsunite. Join our Discord community for even more discussions on all things geek. For all the latest updates on Secret Friends Unite, make sure to follow us on Threads at secret.friends.unite and visit secretfriendsunite.com. Find our merchandise at TeePublic and Redbubble. Thanks for listening, and may the Force live long and prosper.